Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lenox Justifier of Innocence, created by Zeus and Demeter to save humanity. I am JC, I am the author and creator of this series and this channel, and I just wanted to do a little quick video for you to touch base and just to get everybody caught up on where the series is at. So Mr. Buddy and I are going to walk you through that today, and then on Friday we are going to be releasing a new video where Lenox and the crew continue to work on uncovering who is behind these human transport industry and who the consumers are. So that's what we're going to be going into next with that story. Now, I just wanted to say thank you for those of you who have written in your experiences and asked me to create a fantasy justice story for you. It's been my pleasure to be able to do that for you, and hopefully it brings you a little bit of comfort and satisfaction. Even if it's just in fantasy, it sometimes feels good to feel like you are getting some kind of justice. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I did just want to just let you know that this channel is based on a book series that I started. So this is the first of the books that are out. It is Lenox Justifier of Innocence, the beginning. It is available at all major retailers. You can find it on Amazon. You can go to Barnes & Noble or any of your favorite bookstores, and you'll be able to find it there. And that'll give you the backstory and the origins of Lenox and how she realized who she was. Lenox is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter, and she was created to save humanity from all of the things that are occurring in the world today. Now, what makes Lenox different from other superheroes is that she is a Greek goddess. She was born through a human surrogate, though, so she can save the world and restore the balance of good and evil. Lenox also has super empath powers, and she doesn't believe in taking life. She believes that people, in order to make a true difference and repent, you need to relive and feel what you've actually done. Her belief is, as well as mine, is that if people could realize the effects that their actions have on others and live through it themselves and feel the firsthand experience of what that would feel like, then maybe they would not do these horrible things to other people. So that is the premise of the story. And the other thing that makes it different is that she does not actually inflict this pain and injury on the people. They are just in their imagination. They are living through it as if it's really happening, and they're experiencing it firsthand in their mind, but in reality they're not really living through those things. And they, most of the time, they end up going, if they don't repent, they end up going into the prison system or locked up somewhere where they can't continue to hurt others. So that is the premise of the story in a nutshell. And all of the missions, it's always different because it's based on real world events and on you guys' experience as you write in. So every week it's a little bit different. I do also tell the stories. Sometimes it's in different characters. Sometimes we have dramatizations with all of us in different costumes and characters, so you get to experience that. And as I play around with different AI technology, I will sometimes have things in cartoon form, and we try to add in some effects and stuff. Now, we're not movie makers, and we certainly are not actors. It is really just a way to make the stories come to life on screen. So it helps to pique your imagination and get you through the scenes with more visuals and artwork. So that is what this channel is about. So welcome if you are new. So in the last couple of weeks too, I've had some people ask me some questions. So whenever I get similar questions from multiple people, I like to make a little video so that I can answer those questions without having to individually answer every single person. So I was asked what I do, if this is the only thing that I do, and what my career is. So I am a salon owner. I own and operate a small salon, and that is what I do. I love to bring beauty to the world. I love to make people feel good and feel beautiful. My clientele is both men and women, and I have been doing hair, nails, and makeup now for almost 18 years. So it is a passion of mine. How I got into writing is actually, I got into writing when I was a child. I have been writing and creating stories since I can remember. I was about 8 years old when I wrote my first book and illustrated it. And no, it wasn't published, but it was an actual book, and I made a little binder for it and drew all the pictures for it and completed it start to finish. So it's a little book. So that was my first thing. It was called Rocky the Raccoon, and it was this raccoon that went on little adventures, sniffing through trash cans and finding all kinds of treasures in people's trashes. That's what my first little book was about. So yes, I've always written. It's always been a passion of mine. When I went to college, I took something totally different, and at that time, it was more of like, my influences around me would tell me, as far as like teachers and family members, they would tell me to go for a career that is more tangible, meaning not as, the artistic, creative stuff. They felt that if I could learn a skill or a trade, it would make me more successful in life, as opposed to trying to chase something like writing or like, being a modeling, stuff like that. So they wanted me to be more grounded. But as I got older, I decided that I was going to pursue my passions and just go for my dreams. So that answers that question. And I would say to any of you, if you have a strong passion and a talent, whether it's creative or whatever it may be, believe in yourself and go for it. I know people will try to influence you because they love you and they want to recommend what they think is best for you, but ultimately it is your life, your decisions, and if you feel strongly and passionate about something, go for it. Believe in yourself and just make it happen. And even it doesn't matter how long it takes, never give up on your dreams and never give up on yourself. So a little bit of advice there. Now, this is the first actual book that I have published, and I will be publishing more. I'm currently having a book edited, and once it is done with the editing process, then I can move on to the next step. So I'm hoping that the next book will be out within my goal is to have it out within the next 4 months. Now, the stories that are in the book are completely different than what's on this channel. The stories that are in the book is a continuation of this, and the missions that she goes on is completely unrelated to what's on this channel. Though the character and all their powers are the same, the set of missions that they go on in the book is different than this channel. This channel is based on what's happening currently in the news today. Now, some of you have asked about how once it's done with the editing process, I'm looking at about a 4 to 5 month timeline for the second part to come out. So I will definitely keep you informed on that and let you know when it is ready for purchase so that you can keep reading along in the adventures. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about is that sometimes the stories are written in a way that, I have to use certain verbiage because there's certain things that you can't say on these channels, certain words that you can't use because whether it's a trigger word or just, advertisers don't like it. So to be respectful of that, we verbalize things in a different way. and that way we can still tell the stories, but we just have to be, I have to be very creative on how I verbalize things. So some of you have asked me that about certain verbiage that I use, and that is why. That's the, the reason why I just look up things on the, whether it's a thesaurus. I can't ever say that word. I always have a hard time saying that word. But anyway, I look up for the synonyms of certain words that cannot be used, and I use that instead. So it keeps us from getting flagged, and it keeps the stories from being taken down. The other question is, where is Leskha? So typically, Leskha and I do these videos together, and we do story time together, and we also do some of the acting out, as well as like the character of Olgard and a few other characters as well. Being summertime, people go away, so Leskha is away for a few weeks visiting her children. So when she comes back, we will be back here together to do some performances for you. So don't worry, she's coming back. We are also in the process of reworking our costumes. The costumes that we have worn, those are the first prototypes that we created. So we are working on revamping them a little bit. They're still going to be very similar in look. They're just going to be made with better materials and cut a little different. So a little bit of upgrades there for you guys to, give you something to look forward to seeing. So we'll definitely be showing you that once we're done with the recreation of the costumes that we wear. The other thing, question is that the only characters or villains, I guess that you can call them, that Lenox will fight and she can actually hurt is the people who are not humans. So like characters like Puchintero, characters like Obakasanama, those characters are not human in nature. So Lenox fights them like for real. She's not going to put them in a trance and try to make them feel anything, because they are pure evil. They can't feel anything anyway. So those she does try to eliminate, and those are real fights, or real fantasy fights that we would create for you in the scene, and it just keeps it's kind of goofy, fun. It makes you feel like you're like, it's action adventure, so you can have fun with that. So that was the last question I'm going to cover for today. And we are going to continue working on that story. You can look forward to seeing Leskha here again. You'll be seeing more of Olgard. And we're going to continue to create wonderful content for you. Keep writing us and letting me know what stories you want me to write about. Whatever your experience is, I'll be more than happy to continue writing fantasy justice stories for you with that. Now, we will see you on Friday. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And Mr. Buddy and I are going to say, as always, please take care of yourselves, and God bless.